Before I was buried, that woman gave me a unique gift.
And you're gonna take some more time to think about us. See you in a couple centuries, lover boy.
My coffin was tightly bound with chains and buried deep underground. I don't know how many centuries passed, but a group of construction workers accidentally discovered my coffin. Looking at the tightly wound chains, they were thrilled, thinking they had dug up some treasure. But the moment they cut the chains, they released a vampire who had slept for centuries. The workers on site collapsed instantly, and their blood restored my strength. Relying on old memories, I found my former manor. At the door, I met the butler and used my powers to make him let me in. The castle's decor was just as it had been, making me recall all sorts of things from the past. When I walked into the great hall and saw two children leaning on the sofa, I was a bit puzzled. The little boy, however, was surprised. He discovered that my appearance was identical to the ancestral portrait hanging on the wall. I was pleased to see that my descendants still remembered me, so I formally introduced myself. Just then, a woman appeared and interrupted our conversation. After some conversation, I realized that the lady before me, Amy, was the current mistress of the manor. She was very wary of me, this strangely dressed man, and directly questioned my purpose for being there. I wasn't in a hurry to answer, but instead curiously sized up everything in the room. This place was both familiar and strange. I told her that I knew every brick and tile of this place intimately. But Amy clearly didn't believe my nonsense, thinking I was just another con artist who had shown up at her door. She secretly hid a dagger behind her back, seeing that she was unwilling to believe me. As I spoke, I pushed open a heavy wooden door, and that the secret room I had meticulously designed had been turned into a utility closet. Seeing she still didn't believe me, I had to resort to my trump card. I placed my cane on a mechanism on the floor, gave it a gentle push, and the mural on the wall slowly opened, revealing a secret door behind the fireplace. The sight before her left Amy stunned. I led her into the underground passage, where countless gold and silver treasures were hidden, along with all sorts of precious paintings and antiques. I revealed to her the true reason for my appearance. I hoped to use this wealth to help my family restore its former glory. Amy immediately agreed to this proposal. We agreed that I would stay on as a distant cousin. The next morning, we had breakfast as a family. The family was small, consisting only of Amy and her children, a family doctor, and the governess for her brother. But when I saw the governess's face, I was instantly smitten, and she seemed to have a good impression of me as well. To revive the family business as quickly as possible, I went to the family's abandoned factory and spent a fortune to rebuild and renovate it. Looking at the rival business on the opposite shore, I secretly vowed to acquire it. I found the owner of the war fleet and, using my dark magic, successfully reached a partnership with them. My factory was brought back to life. But I never would have expected that, just then, that terrifying ex-girlfriend would show up at my door.